Next week's Young and the Restless spoilers focus on Tessa Porter's, Kate Fairbanks' terrifying new discovery, Jill Abbott's, Jess Walton, impending showdown, and Victor Newman's, Eric Braeden, insane scheme. The most recent Y and R spoilers for the week of October 6 are available here. Okay, let's begin with Jill, who recently arrived in Genoa City after receiving calls from Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, requesting that she come as soon as possible. Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, are having a difficulty. Jill Abbott will therefore make her first stop at the Kane train when she arrives at the end of this week. Guess who else arrives at the station shortly after Jill does? When Billy Abbott shows there, he is furious because his mother Jill visited Kane before coming to meet him. Billy then goes on a tirade about how Kane is still Jill's favorite and her favorite son, despite the fact that Kane is a fraud and not her biological child. Jill says she has a lot to talk about with Kane. Furthermore, Jill wasn't certain that Billy would even open his door for her to see him. Billy is then acting like a kid and playing tattletale. It's like sibling rivalry all over again, and he wants to tell her what Kane has been up to. Jill claims that Jack has previously informed her of Kane's activities. However, Jill wants to know straight from Kane why he returned to Genoa City. He informs Jill that he wants to win over some people in town, but Billy responds, "Nah." Victor also visited Jack at the Abbott mansion this week to discuss their strategy for defeating Kane. Victor initially stated that he wanted to wait for Jill to arrive so that he could speak with her and Jack Abbott together. Jack Abbott, however, is concerned that Kane is prepared to strike right now. They must solidify their plans immediately. Next week, Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and Daniel Romalotti, Michael Graziati, return to Genoa City following their off-screen visit to look into why Maria Copeland, Cameron Grimes, told Tessa that she had almost killed a guy. The sight of Daniel and Tessa surprises Sharon Newman, Sharon Case. Sharon then inquires as to if they learned anything. Yes, they did find out something. Tessa admits Sharon, looking quite upset. It must be something terrible, whatever she and Daniel unearthed. Make sure to return soon for our comprehensive daily Young and the Restless spoilers video, which covers everything that occurs throughout the whole week of October 6 to 10. There are never quiet waters in Genoa City, and the waves will be higher than ever the following week. Victor Newman and Jill Abbott, two influential figures, are at the center of plots, conflicts, and confrontations that have the potential to alter the course of Chancellor Winter's, Newman Enterprises, and even their familial relationships. It's the chessboard. The parts are in motion, and the stakes have never been higher, in typical Young and the Restless way. One thing is always true about Victor Newman. He is the game's master. But this time, even his closest supporters are wondering if the legendary Victor Newman has finally gone too far with his new scheme. Rumors circulate the next week that Victor is no longer only putting his kids through a test. He has been playing with Adam, Victoria, and Nick for weeks, creating complex tests of cunning, loyalty, and brutality. The most recent rumor, though, in order to uncover secret opponents within and outside of Newman Enterprises, he is planning a corporate trap. A phantom deal. A fictitious multinational relationship that doesn't exist, but seems alluringly real, is allegedly a component of Victor's plan. The strategy? To find out which of his kids questions his authority, who heedlessly obeys, and who leaks the information. It's the ultimate test for Victor. However, it's a ticking time bomb for his family. Already scarred by her father's many power struggles, Victoria starts to worry that she's being set up for failure. She confides in Nikki, who cautions her that confronting Victor directly could have disastrous consequences. However, obstinate as ever, Victoria won't stand by and watches her father plays God with his own family's lives. Adam learns about discrepancies in the purported agreement in the interim. He toyed with the idea of letting Victor's plan fail in order to definitively demonstrate that he is the son most like his father, but he is torn between revealing the truth and utilizing it as leverage. Caught in the midst, Nick becomes tired of the constant deception. He exhorts his siblings to get together in opposition to Victor. Will Victor's crazy scheme split the Newman kids even more than before? Or will they finally put aside their differences to defend themselves? The question that still hangs over Genoa City is whether Victor is just trying to test loyalty, or whether he is developing a risky plan that might cost Newman Enterprises millions of dollars in the real world. Victor's iron grip causes the Newman empire to tremble, but Chancellor Winters is just as combustible. As ferocious and angry as ever, Jill Abbott returns to Genoa City with the intention of establishing her dominance over her business. However, she doesn't get a friendly reception. Once together, Devon and Lily are now at odds over tactics. Jill's return, in Lily's opinion, is a calming influence who can assist them navigate these unsettling times. But Devon resents Jill's controlling demeanor because he thinks she will destroy his plans for the business. The catalyst occurs when Jill convenes an urgent board meeting and presents the shocking agenda item: a plan to combine with a significant outside investor. Unexpectedly, Devon lashes out. He sees this as just another instance of Jill imposing her way, without considering the opinions of individuals who helped Chancellor Winters become a dominant force. When Nate, ever the opportunist, takes Jill's side, the tension erupts. He presents the agreement as a daring step that will advance the business. Devon says Jill is falling for Nate's slick sales pitch, accusing him of deception. But in an increasingly competitive world, Jill believes Nate is the kind of risk-taker the business needs. The confrontation in the boardroom heats up. Voices are raised. Someone throws an ultimatum. Never one to back down, Jill makes it plain that she will not let Chancellor Winters be brought down by family disputes. Devon, who is similarly obstinate, says that if Jill goes ahead with her merger plans, he will completely quit. A private study that could weaken Devon's position and reveal his leadership flaws is Jill's own secret weapon. Given that it has the potential to irreversibly damage the Abbott-Winters family dynamic, the only question is whether she will play it or hold back. As the week goes on, an intriguing turn of events occurs. Victor and Jill meet. Two Genoa City giants, each confident they know what's best for their businesses, are embroiled in power disputes inside their families. Their supposedly coincidental encounter soon turns into a calculated discussion. Ever the strategist, Victor makes a suggestion that Newman Enterprises might work in some way with Chancellor Winters. Sharp as a blade, Jill wonders right once what he's up to. The personal undertones, as well as the business opportunities, are what make this interaction so captivating. Despite their decades-long friendship and numerous arguments, these two reluctantly admire each other's perseverance. Are you leading, or are you just cleaning up after the mistakes of the next generation? Asks Victor, challenging Jill. At least I don't need to invent phantom deals to prove my family's loyalty. Jill responds with equal venom. Their conversation paves the way for a possible business partnership, or a conflict that might rock Genoa City to its foundation. The voices of reason stand in the midst of these conflicts. Ever elegant but uncompromising, Nikki Newman becomes increasingly alarmed by Victor's turn toward manipulation. She addresses him in private and warns that his games might permanently alienate his kids. However, Victor dismisses her worries with his typical hawkness, saying, "I'm not here to be their friend. My purpose is to save the Newman heritage." As a mediator between Jill and Devon, Lily works to keep Chancellor Winters united. However, when her tolerance runs out, even Lily is put to the test. She starts to question whether she is strong enough to keep the business together at all, because she is torn between respect for Jill and loyalty to her brother. Both Nikki and Lily end up being surprising reflections of one another, as they attempt to strike a balance between business, love, and devotion in households where ambition frequently triumphs over affection. Victor's machinations rekindle Victoria and Adam's sibling rivalry as they exchange acerbic remarks at Newman. But in a rare instance of vulnerability, Adam acknowledges that he's sick of having to prove himself all the time. It's unclear if Victoria feels sorry for him or takes advantage of his weakness. Devon confides in Abby about his mounting annoyance at Chancellor Winters. Torn between standing by Devon and her Newman heritage, Abby urges him to do so, while cautioning that Jill is not to be taken lightly. These intimate discussions expose the real essence of the young and the restless. Families fighting to maintain their unity in a world based on treachery hide beneath the wealth, influence, and vicious ambition. Victor gathers his kids at Newman Enterprises and shares the findings of his test. But rather than celebrating or reprimanding them, he issues a mysterious warning. This family isn't the real enemy. It is already working against us as it waits outside. Everyone is shaken by what he says. Who is Victor referring to? A competitor? An old enemy? Or someone they didn't anticipate? Jill makes her move in the boardroom confrontation at Chancellor Winters. As everyone watches, she pulls out a document, an agreement that has the potential to permanently change the organization. Devon is enraged and says he will step down if Jill follows through. As Jill looks him down and prepares to call his bluff, the screen vanishes. Power is put to the test, allegiances are strained, and legacies are at stake on the young and the restless next week. Victor's crazy scheme makes his family uneasy, and they all wonder if he's trying to keep them safe or break them up. Jill's unwavering will threatens to destroy familial ties in the name of business, pushing Chancellor Winters to the verge of collapse. Despite everything, Genoa City is still the same turbulent stage it has always been. A place where every choice has long-lasting effects, and where ambition is more intense than love.